What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, everybody? It is your man, Jelani JB Bodie. And once again, this is the Wait a Minute Show. I'm back in the building to give you your sports fix like we always do at this time. So, ah, ah, we got a little bit of a break that we got to take. Um, we don't got any basketball right now, right? But we will have some pretty soon, which is the NBA Finals, which has been set. So we'll be getting into that. We will be talking about Caitlyn Clark, Angel Reese, Cardoso, obviously all the stuff that happened in the Fever Chicago Sky game. And then there's some other stuff we're going to talk about, but we're going to finish this thing up with some stuff that Michael Parsons was talking about. And it's back, ladies and gentlemen, the Big L Award. So I will be here to hand out a Big L Award to someone doing some loserish things. But before we do all that, make sure you like, subscribe, make sure you turn on those notifications, everything. And always share what's going on with the Wait a Minute Show. So then you can always tap in every time that we're out here. So when I say we, in the background, got my man Big Mo running in the background, running everything. Mo, how you feeling, bro?
What's up, man? I feel good, man. I'm celebrating my birthday weekend. Yeah. And I can't even find my way into the camera, but we'll figure that part out, though.
I didn't know. See, I didn't want to say anything because, some people, they just like, nah, I don't want my business out there like that. But since you mentioned it, happy birthday. Everybody, happy birthday to Big Mo.
It's a celebration.
That's
it's
right.
A celebration. I know a lot of them that didn't make it this far, man. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, and I don't want you to tell them how old I am. But
Right.
Yeah, it feels good to be 27, man.
There you go. I was going to say 26, but yeah, you circled this, the earth one more time, or the sun, or whatever everybody says. But yeah, happy birthday, man. Before you get up out of here, before we jump into the first thing, which is going to be about the NBA Finals, we just saw, or some people saw, Deontay Wilder got knocked out, bro. He got mollywopped.
It wouldn't.
It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap.
It pretty. Yeah, it's time for him to hang it out.
It's a wrap. Yeah, because and the internet remains undefeated, but people out here talking about he got knocked out by Yao Ming and all this stuff. When they start getting to that point, man, yeah, it's time. It's time. He had a really good run. Everybody know, he's a powerful puncher, but we've seen this before. Once when folks get your number, it's happened to the greats. It's not like it's just him or anything like that. I saw Roy Jones Jr. go through it. Mm-hmm. I saw Mike Tyson go through it. Like once when that one kind of just magnified loss goes under your record,
yeah,
it just happens. But I mean, it's
bound to have a good run though.
I mean, look, to me with boxing, every fight that you in could be your last fight. So if you have 2 or 3 good fights, to me that's a run, right? Because at any point you could get caught. So props to Deontay Wilder, but if he continues to fight, he'll continue to fight, but it's not going to be that draw like it was. And some I didn't even know it was on, right?
Me either.
So that was the even crazier part. So
well, time to hang the gloves up, bro. Hang the gloves up. You got your purse. It is what it is.
Yeah.
This is how we gonna remember you. But
hopefully not.
Yeah, you saw the clip. You saw the highlights.
Okay.
That's how we gonna remember you.
Dang.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, so let's move on. Let's get into this. NBA Finals, right? It's finally here. The NBA Finals is upon us. It'll be here by the end of the week. June 6th is when the NBA Finals is going to kick off, and we got 2 matchups, right? You got the Dallas Mavericks coming out of the West facing the Boston Celtics that's going to be coming out of the East. So in this matchup, I got it half right. I said Boston. My matchup for the finals was going to be Denver and Boston. So I got it half right. But this is going to be a very, very good NBA Finals, if you ask me. I think I'm going to go ahead and say this thing goes 7 games. And it ain't going to be no sweep. It ain't going to be no gentleman's sweep. We ain't doing 6 games. This thing is going to go 7 games. You got way, 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 way too much that's on the table for both sides to basically say who would win this, right? Boston has been dominating all year, but there's nothing like a team coming on at the right moment that has had some success. There's nothing like a team who gets in their groove, figure out all their roles like the Mavericks have, and you got a dynamic 1-2 punch in Kyrie and Luka. And Kyrie going back to Boston, obviously we know all of that. The Boston fans are going to be giving him the business. With Boston, what I want to see, from Boston is that are they going to be able? Because here's the thing, barring any type of injury, because I know people have given Boston a little bit of a asterisk, if you will, because hey, they ran into so many people with injuries. Barring any injury, you ain't got to worry about any of that because you got a problem on your hand with Luka and Kyrie. And Kyrie seemed like he done figured it out, what he needs to do, how he needs to do it. And this is a Kyrie that I think people were expecting in Boston. But he was still figuring that out. He was leaving, a situation with the Cavs where he wasn't, the guy. He wasn't the guy that was leaned upon for that leadership. That was LeBron. And then when he got to Boston and they kind of wanted that from him, he was learning that. He was learned that through, Brooklyn and everything. And now being in Dallas, I think he fully is aware and has figured that out. So you got a different Kyrie Irving that's going to be playing in this NBA Finals. Boston on their side, look, I'll keep it plain and simple. Everybody's looking for Boston to finish the deal. Are they going to have some type of hiccup? We've seen some of the games that they've had against talent that they should be, basically mollywopping, or they have these self-inflicted wounds. Can they stay away from the self-inflicted wounds that they put upon themselves? They're going to get Porzingis back, so obviously that's going to help in that matchup, because we've seen what Derek Lively is for that Mavs team, and Gafford, keeping them off of the boards and also on the pick and rolls and the alley oops and all that stuff. So I like this matchup, right? I really do. And I think everybody else is going to be tuned in. You got, as they say, the best scoring backcourt, and that's up for debate for a later time. But going up against young guns and someone that's trying to get over the hump, on this. So I've stayed with Boston. I'm going to continue to stay with Boston and say that they win this, but it goes 7 games, and Boston has been in a 7-game series before and they've lost. I think this goes 7 games, and then that maturity and all what was needed from Boston actually prevails, on this. But it will not be easy. This is going to be the toughest task that they have. This is going to be the toughest challenge. I think this is probably going to be even tougher than them facing Golden State in the NBA Finals 2 years ago. So this is how people are going to, talk about, hey, you guys got a easy route to the finals. Yeah, you only can play who's in front of you. But if you beat Dallas, then that can't be said, because it's just like this is the one of the elite teams coming out of the West. So I'm excited. So when we come back, we'll talk about where we at in the series and who's doing what, who's doing this, who's doing that. But speaking of who's doing what, let's move on. And then we're going to move into someone that didn't make the finals, and that was the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? The Minnesota Timberwolves. What's next? What is the future? What is going on with the Minnesota Timberwolves coming into the 2024-2025 season? Because there's this talk about cap restrictions or maybe a cap strain going into the luxury tax. Do they want to do that? You still probably got this, ongoing battle. It may be over. It may not be over between the owners, between A-Rod and the current owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves. But then also we've seen, what happened in this Western Conference Final with the T-Wolves and how they got dismantled by the Dallas Mavericks. So roster moves. Are we doing anything with the roster moves? So there's a lot of questions that's there that needs to be answered for the T-Wolves. And I'm going to start with the roster first, right? And I know people are talking about Karl Anthony Towns. I've heard people talking about trading Karl Anthony Towns and keeping Naz Reid and putting Naz Reid, into that starting position. Now, Naz Reid coming off a 6th man of the year. Here's what I'm going to say about that, though. These are the questions that you have to ask yourself. And maybe the answer is put Naz. I'm not 100% sure of that. And here's why, is that we criticize Cat Williams for, that 1-2 punch, and for some of the things that he was doing in that finals, and actually some of the things that he was doing in the just in the playoffs in general. You push someone into coming off a role that they're playing on the bench, and then they are put into, you have to be the number 2, you have to be that, or 1A 1B to Ant-Man. That's not an easy transition for anybody. So I don't know if Naz Reid is just plug and play on this. And I'm going to use a football analogy. We've seen guys plenty of times at the wide receiver position. They're the second wide receiver. They're eating, and then they move on to another team to be the number 1 wide receiver, and it's a different experience. So coming off the bench, going to the starting role, and also needing to be the sidekick or the complement to Anthony Edwards, that's a big ask for someone. We don't know if Naz Reid is that type of person or that type of dude. Now, obviously, he would take on that role. Don't get me wrong, but that's not a foregone conclusion that's just gonna work out. I think it's better just to try and with Cat seeing what he did and make those improve over, or improve, excuse me, make those improvements over the off season, and try and keep together your nucleus of your team. Now, Rudy Gobert, that's another question mark, right? In the playoffs, because the defensive player of the year, the thing I say about that's a regular season award, because Rudy is not going up against top competition night in and night out as far as like elite playoff competition. We saw what that was, here in the playoffs. So I you just got to figure out. I don't know if moving Rudy is the answer. Maybe that is. If you're forcing me to move someone, I'm probably going to move Rudy before I move Cat. Matter of fact, I am going to move Rudy before I move Cat, because we saw Rudy really doesn't have a offensive type of game. It's more of him improv, that's what it looks like. Looks like he's improv with this team. So I think you run it back. You had some success. You got to the Western Conference Final. You know what you need to do. It was a learning lesson, because you went out there and you got dismantled by the Mavs, and you come back and maybe add another piece here or there, 1 or 2 pieces, and then I just say run it back. Run it back. See what's the worst that could happen for the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? They go back to being bad. Oh my. I mean, that's the same thing with my Detroit Pistons. What's the worst? We go back to going bad. Oh my. We've been struggling for years. So yeah, let's roll this dice. And y'all billionaires, I'm talking about the owners, hey, pay that money, and let's see, what happens again, next year. But what do you got to lose? Nothing at all. So, all right, let's move on into the WNBA. Yes, the WNBA, we're touching base because it's finally happened. We got a professional matchup, because it was such an interesting matchup in college. But Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky went to Indiana to take on the Fever and Caitlyn Clark. So this game, 1 point win for the Fever. So they get their first home run. They get the second win of the year. And that's not what everybody's talking about. The game was pretty good, but you got some controversial pieces in there with Caitlyn Clark, as you see right there, takes a takes a little bit of a nudge. I guess we'll say just a tad bit of a nudge, and gets knocked down. So everybody's been talking about this and having opinions about it. And here's how I feel, on it. And I've said this before. Are they going against? Let me go to the side for a second. And also, it was Camila Cardoso debut, which she did pretty good. I think she had 11 points in like 18 minutes. So props to her for a really strong debut. But going back to this matchup, because even Caitlyn and Angel Reese had a run in and everything. This is basketball, ladies and gentlemen. Competitive basketball. How many times do I gotta say this? Is that when you come in and you've been ordained by other people, Caitlyn has not come in here at any point in time and said, I'm the ish. That's not what she said. she's coming in, but she's trying to be, and she's accomplishing things, and it's still early in her career. And Angel Reese is the same as anything. Hey man, I ain't finna just give it to you. You're gonna have to earn it. And that's what these players are doing now with the bump that we just saw on there. Yeah, that was unneeded. That was uh, 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 you could say, too much, if you will. But we've seen basketball players, do too much on the court as well. It's not like she picked her up and suplexed her and everything. But Caitlyn is doing what she's supposed to do. You got to go back at it. Now, Matt Barnes did. Matt Barnes said something that stuck out to me. I was like, I didn't even think about that. He said, "Where's Caitlyn's teammates at?" When she getting knocked down to the ground and getting foul hard and everything, where's her teammates to kind of step in and get in some of these other players' face? Because she is your superstar. She is the franchise at this point, right? Protect your superstar. We've seen that in other sports. So yeah, I kind of agree with Matt on that. Like, yeah, I ain't saying you got to go in there, uh, give somebody a two-piece or anything like that. But yeah, Caitlyn been taking some real hard fouls, and then none of her teammates don't seem like they say anything. Maybe I'm missing something or whatever. But going back to the game because I'm getting sidetracked. It was a great game. I look forward to more of these games between those two. I look forward to the Fever getting better. Again, they're playing the top teams. It's only so many teams, so you always kind of seeing the top teams over and over and over. But they're going to get better. The Sky is going to get better. This rivalry is going to get better, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just don't. I just think we're putting way too much into it, and way too much of our personal feelings into this matchup. And let's just leave it as basketball. Mo, I know you love women's basketball. You may have something that you want to say on this. If not, I'll move on.
I agree with Matt, and that's the first thing I thought about. I'm like, why, you know, where are the girls? But you know what I thought about when I saw it? Because I don't know if you heard the same rumors, but it ain't all good in that locker room, right? I think when she
Mm-hmm.
came in, a lot of those girls may have felt some animosity. They put a lot of hype around her. And I hope that's not the case because regardless of whether you like it or not, she's your teammate. She's the star. And a lot of people are dubbing her the star of the league and the face of the league and the savior of the league. And
Mm-hmm.
you can't let that happen. But they didn't want that problem, man. They didn't want that problem with them girls, man. That's why they didn't step up. But I do feel like Chicago is going to get much better, much quicker than Indiana will because it's a bad team. But Caitlin Clark, your numbers are going to look good because, she's that good. But I don't know, man. I can't wait. I'm waiting on maybe 2 or 3 years down the road. I want to see what it looked like.
Yeah, and so and they threw out this stat. I think it was 150 points and some other stuff in the first 10 games, and the only other person that's done that is Sabrina UNESCO. So obviously those comparison things have started. But what you were talking about, Mo, as far as like the locker room. Okay, here's my thing. Is that locker room though? And I'm not asking you to answer that question because you don't have the answer, but is is that locker room, is it more of teammates just tired of everybody else, or is there some type of evidence that Caitlyn has came in there and just was like, yeah, I'm it, I'm that, or whatever. Now, if that's the case, then yeah, you got it, you got a problem. But then some of that also is that look, you're not carrying, the weight that she is, that was put on her. Not that, because I don't remember. You tell me. I don't ever remember her coming out speaking as if she was that ish like that.
Yeah, but
Obviously, we play and everything, but and look, Caitlyn has got away with some stuff herself, and got the benefit of the doubt, and we've seen that, and that happens
right.
when people put favorite. Michael Jordan could tell the rep, "Hey, he fouled me," and then they'd be like, "I believe you," and they just give somebody a foul. So,
But see, it don't matter if she's saying it or not, right? She's not gonna do that. She didn't come
mhm.
out and say that I'm the one, right? But what are you doing to not necessarily change that narrative, but let your teammates know. Listen, I hear what everybody's saying. That's cool. Listen, it's us. It's about us, right?
Yeah,
You
I
want to,
agree with
as the leader of the team, as the face of that team, you want to make sure that we glued together tight, right?
you. Yeah.
You want to
I
make
agree.
sure that when we get out there, it's all about the team, right? However many players on this roster. So, and you need that because in moments like this, that's when you're going to need your teammates to rally around you and defend you, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah. I
that's a
mean, and,
valid
and
point.
listen, that's just the cross you got to carry. That's your burden to bear because you came in this league as the number one pick. You came in this league as okay. We about to build this market, that we call the WNBA up, and we're gonna do it with you. And so you know how I go. I mean, it's gonna be people that feel that pressure. I don't
Yeah.
even know who the star of that team was last year, but they ain't the one no more. And so
I think it was
it was
why am
probably
I
Boston. She was a
nah
rookie last year.
I know she was a rookie. I want to say is it Kelsey Mitchell? I think that's it.
Yeah,
That's
you know what? Yeah, because she got off yesterday too.
yeah, she
Shout
got
out to
off
her.
yesterday.
Shout out to Dana Evans. They got off yesterday. And
Yeah. So
my little girl, I can't remember her name, the one that looked like Teron Lou, but she the one that got her to the altercation. But no
yeah.
disrespect. I shouldn't have said that on your platform, but she got busy. She got
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, but valid points. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's gonna be like you said, it gotta be all of us. So if that's
hmm
not in there, then yeah, you're gonna have this problem.
You're not gonna win without it.
Yeah, you're not.
Definitely
You're
not gonna
not.
win without it. But yeah, it was
Nice.
fun.
I like
It was a good first matchup between those two teams. I don't want to just dub it Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese because they got a roster, and it was fun to
yeah,
watch.
because at the end, man, I can't even remember who it was, but they had just a mental lapse
Mm-hmm.
because I forgot who it was. They darted to the backcourt and the sky guard didn't even run with her, so they ran out the
Mm-mm.
clock. So
Yep.
it's like
Yeah.
man, you can't have those at that point coming out of a timeout. I also,
Right. That's how you know you're
but
gonna get a lot. You're gonna get better games between these two teams. It's gonna be like
oh
this
yeah,
every time they play, and I'm
yeah,
there for it.
and I
Prime
like
time. We
it.
need a prime time.
Yeah, and then hopefully we get those games against the Liberty, the Aces,
Mm-hmm.
the Suns, and a few other teams out there as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
this is what we want.
WNBA playoffs. It's gonna be fun, man.
Yes, sir. All right. So this is the fun part. So you heard me talk before and check that episode out where I NBA players, well, Austin Rivers was talking about, 30 NBA players could go to the NFL. And obviously I came out and said, nah, 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 no, I'm not going to do that. So I got to be fair. I have to be fair in what I say and what I do. And I saw this yesterday and I said, you got to be kidding me. Michael Parsons was I think he was doing a hoop highlights or whatever. It was him and CJ Stroud, and they asked him a question. So I want you to check out this video and see what Micah's response is.
How much would each you guys score in an NBA game?
I'm averaging 20.
I would say I would be lucky to hit a 3 or 2. I'm
And
realistic.
he calls himself
fam.
a shooter.
He's a
I'm not
cowboy.
scoring.
He's a
I
cowboy.
don't
He's
think he's scoring
naturally
a bucket,
delusional.
but
Look, I got a new thing that I'm going to implement on this show, and it's called a cap rating, right? 1 through 5, right? So my cap rating for this, I'm gonna give this thing 4 bibs, right? 4 bibs. And the only reason I didn't do 5 is because of what CJ just said. He's a cowboy. And I blame cowboy fans for this because they done influenced Micah into being delusional. And now he's out here being delusional to really think that you're going to go out. He said he was going to average 20. Now, the question was in a NBA game, how many points, right? But obviously, Michael heard something different because he's like, I'm going to dominate. I'm averaging 20. So, Mo, jump in here with me because there's a few things. First off, Micah is 6'3", 245, right? So obviously
Right.
you can't be in that frame in the NBA.
Right.
So Steph is 6'2", 185. So that means, Micah, you're going to be a guard. You're not going to be a forward. Shoal ain't going to be a center or anything like that, power forward. You're going to be a guard. Point guard, shooting guard? No. That's not gonna happen. And here's the other thing. Point number 2, while I'm calling cap for Bibbs, is Micah, you play football, so you play defense. You don't play offense. Basketball, you got to play both sides. You got to play offense and defense. So that means after you trying to score, you got to go guard whoever their best player is at the guard position or second best player, right? So you're running around the court. And third, this is why he's delusional. You know why he's delusional?
What's up?
Why CJ was talking about this? You know that NBA All-Star game that just happened in Indiana? They had the celebrity game that weekend.
Right.
I think Micah think he's going to be playing against them instead of NBA players because he won MVP. I think he scored like 20 some odd points. And I guess he's thinking if I can score on celebrities, I can score on NBA players.
Listen, Michael Parsons could be playing for the Kansas City. I mean, not Kansas City. I mean, if he could be playing for the undefeated Golden State Warriors in a preseason game, up by 50, and he still ain't coming off the bench. Come on, man. Listen, I get it. The conditioning that you go through as an NFL player, it might have you a little delusional, bro. This is a different level, man. Come on, man. He got to be smarter than that because C.J. Stroud got out in that game too, but he got off in that celebrity game. But he has sense enough to say, I'll be lucky if I score 2 points or a 3-pointer in a game. I'll be lucky. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
But
I mean, you got to consider the source. I mean, you got to heard some of the stuff he said on this podcast.
It's 2 things on there. Is his facial expression when he said, I'm averaging 20, because it was straight. I'm averaging 20.
With conviction.
Yeah. And then with CJ, he just dropped his head.
Because he know better.
I know CJ wanted to look at him like, bro, and I know that that ain't the word he wanted to use. Like, come on, man. No.
It's hard to do.
No.
It's hard to do.
So if I'm gonna go in on NBA players going to the NFL, I gotta give the same heat for an NFL person saying that they could go to the NBA. Because again, last time that you played basketball, Micah, is in high school. You didn't play basketball for Penn State.
He said
so
20 points.
Yeah. You playing in pickup games and all that stuff. I don't care if you played if you went down to Lifetime Fitness and all of them was there. Carmelo, LeBron, D Wade, Steph, all of them. That still is a different environment.
You realize averaging 20 points, you a star in the league if you averaging 20.
Yes.
You're a star. Come on. That's like people saying them Alabama teams would have beat an NFL team. Like,
no.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop
and Micah, you ain't even went up against, and I'm gonna give him his props. You ain't went up against a Pat Beverly playing defense, because that's who you going up against. That's who you playing defense against.
Yep.
You ain't went up against where they switch up somebody on you like Derrick Jones that's 6'8", 6'9", or Aaron Gordon that can move with a guard. Like,
yeah, he don't realize he got to chase them boys around all night.
Yeah.
It's hard for your jumper not to get flat when you run around trying to keep up with Kyrie. Stop.
Michael being Mike. I love Michael Parsons. I love Michael Parsons because of this stuff right here, man, because he's dead serious.
I don't want to insult his intelligence, but I was waiting on him to say he was just playing.
No.
I was waiting on it.
No.
I was waiting on him. I'm like, nah, he finna pull that back. He gonna be like, nah, come on, I'm tripping. Give me 4 or 5 points. And I'd be surprised to see that.
Thank goodness for CJ Stroud. That's all I'm saying. Thank goodness. Oh, man.
He couldn't help but laugh at him.
I would like to thank somebody else. Appreciate you, Mo. But I can't. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end this thing once again. I told you it's back. I bring it out every now and then when it needs to be. The Big L Award is here, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to hand this thing out. And this is for someone that does loserous things, right? I've gotten the Big L award, so don't think I'm just picking on, people. I've gotten it myself. But it's time to give out the Big L award. So let's go ahead and get into it. What time is it, Mo? Hey, social media. Social media it can be disastrous, and it can be fun, and it can be funny, and it can be happy. It can be a lot of things. But um, this right here, I want y'all to check this out. This popped up on my feed. Mo, put it up for me. And I'm looking at it, and check this out. It says, I always told people I met Michael Jackson, but now that I found the picture, man, who the F was this? That's Michael Johnson. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Take a good look. All I want to say is I don't blame this gentleman right here, especially he was a kid. He was a kid. Basically, what he's saying is, as we all will have. When we were kids, we see stuff different. People tell us different things, and then when we become adults, we reanalyze it, and we just like, man, what was I thinking? Or we just think differently. So I don't blame him. You know who I blame? Whoever was supposed to be the responsible adult to tell this man that this is not Michael Jackson. This is indeed Michael Johnson. This brother probably had been going around telling his boys and everybody at school, I took that picture with Mike, right? This is before social media, so it wasn't you could just post it and everything, where we just had to take your word for it. So they said, oh, Brad, Brad took a picture with Michael Jackson, And then he comes back years later, looks at the picture and said, what in the world? So here at the Wait a Minute show, I gotta blame somebody. Again, I'm not blaming the gentleman. He was a kid, but they did him dirty. Whatever adult that was supposed to be responsible for this, because I don't know his situation, but there is somebody that was older than him for not telling my man, yo, that ain't Mike, that's Matt. You gotta take this Big L, man. Mo, they did him dirty. Dirty.
He looked like Flex Alexander from the Jackson 5 movie.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Too much. Yeah. Big L award. Honorable Big L goes out to my man that's been going viral as well. This brother went to court on a Zoom meeting for a suspended license while he was driving. Told the judge, hold on, I got to pull up to the doctor's office. I'm parking right now. It don't get no worse than that, bro. It don't get no worse than that. I should have had the picture of him as well too, but you got to take a Big L, man. God, dog it. I'm out here handing Big L's out all over the place. But Mike and brother man, suspended license man, y'all got to take some Big L's. All right. I'm done. So I don't want to get in any more trouble because I'm sure somebody's coming after you. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is your man, Jelani JB Bodie. Make sure you like and subscribe and turn on those notifications for the show. We'll be back once again, talk about whatever else is going on. We'll be talking about the NBA Finals and the games that's been played because we'll have some games underneath our belts and whatever else that's going on. And hopefully, I don't have to come back and hand out another Big L award. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.